pages of notes. I'm not kidding. I took notes the whole time. I got 5 pages of little handwriting notes.
So if you're listening, folks, you can make some dough.
Can anybody get into this who's motivated?
1,000%.
Why aren't more people flocking into this?
This is the formula right here. It's called subject here. Bro, you're making me sick right now. Why would the bank let me do that?
But this guy seemed to come out of nowhere, and he's got an unbelievable following, tribe. He's got a top podcast. He's got the most popular TV show on A&E called Triple Digit Flip. But what's even more impressive is his heart to serve.
Pace Marby is the guy for all things real estate, and he does it all with something called creative financing.
It's going to be everything and anything you could ever want to know about creative financing.
When I watch Pace, you know what I see? I see a guy who got a whole universe of humans who told him, you can't do it that way. And he said, it, watch me.
Boom. Welcome to Get Creative. Welcome. Today, we're going to be talking about buying a business with zero down. As of today, we have another business under contract ourselves. We are buying a demolition business here in Arizona. What's cool about demolition businesses is that you do excavation work, tons of amazing margin on moving dirt around. That's what we will be doing with that new business that we currently have in a contract. Yes, we are buying it with creative finance. Today, we're going to be talking to somebody named Julia. Hopefully, Julia, you can hear me in the backstage. When I was doing the pre-start today, I couldn't hear you. Hopefully you could hear me, but if you couldn't hear me, make sure you get your settings dialed in because we're about to get started in a couple of minutes. A couple of things I want to talk about. We'll be on here for about 40 minutes, which will go very, very fast. If you are listening on the podcast, thank you guys so much. We are currently number 1 in the nation in the marketing department on podcasts. Number 1 in the nation in marketing on podcasts. We are top 50 in the nation on all topics. So Get Creative is all about buying real estate creative. It is also buying businesses with creative finance and also lending and distributing capital with creative finance as well, called Gator. So whether you're in the Gator community, the sub 2 community, or the top tier TC community, welcome. And if you're in neither one of those, strap in. You'll get to talk to a lot of our students that are in the game doing things at a high level. One thing that we're working on right now is we are working on an updated, amazing thing that we did a couple of years ago called the Zero to Hero Challenge. Pay attention to this because it's good. The Zero to Hero Challenge was done 3 years ago. I took a page out of a book that I'm about to show you here in just a second. And I said, you know what? I'm going to take somebody and I'm going to turn them into a deal doer. And we did this thing called the Zero to Hero Challenge 3 years ago, and we helped a lot of people get their first deal through this challenge. And I'm inspired once again by the book written by Robert G. Allen in the 80s called The Challenge. This book, hard to come by the way. You have to buy it on like Amazon used. Mine has a signed copy from Robert G. Allen and a thank you letter from Robert G. Allen as well. And just want to say thank you guys for showing up because this is going to be a good little story to start off our day. The Challenge is a book written by Robert G. Allen in the 80s in response to people saying, well, of course you can do creative finance, Robert G. Allen, but you couldn't take a random stranger off the street. You could not take a random stranger off the street and turn them into a real estate investor in less than 90 days. And Robert G. Allen says, I will take that challenge. And he went and he documented, took 5 people, these 5 people right here, real human beings, took 5 people out of the unemployment line in St. Louis. He pulled them out, pulled these strangers out of the unemployment line in St. Louis. And in 90 days, he turned them all into full-time real estate investors, and they all had $5,000 in their bank account within those 90 days. Now, $5,000 today is worth not a lot of money. $5,000 in the 80s was basically worth like $50,000 today. So unbelievable. What we're going to be doing in our community, the sub 2 community, is going to be designating 250 leaders nationwide. That's 250 different cities will have 250 leaders designated nationwide for an upcoming challenge we are calling the Zero to Hero Challenge. I will be one of those heroes that helps take somebody from zero and gets them a deal. This will be a week-long challenge in October. We are strategizing it, planning it right now, where if you are in the sub 2 community and you want to take me up on this challenge, we are going to go region to region, head to head, each region of the United States designating a leader that gets to choose a newbie in their particular market. So if you're in North Dakota, Fargo, North Dakota, you're choosing for Fargo, North Dakota. Arizona will probably have 10 leaders just in Maricopa County. Choose 10 newbies to go side by side, 2 hours a day for 7 days straight. Now, this is just a warm-up. We're going to be talking about this more in June, but I just want to plant the seed and let you guys know that we do amazing things here on Get Creative. The #1 podcast in marketing in the United States, which is cool. Wasn't even a category we were trying to win. But I imagine that by the end of the year, we will be #1 in the nation in real estate. Mark my words, we are on our way. Thank you guys for tuning in to Get Creative. Tonight, we have a guest named Julia, and Julia is going to talk about how she bought a business with Creative Finance, no money down. I don't know the story. And I said, hey, Julia, let's do a podcast about it. Let's talk about it on Get Creative, and let's do a little bit of Q&A. Now, we bought a couple of businesses last year using Creative Finance. And because of that, we launched something inside of the sub 2 community called Zero Down, a whole entire mentorship that I gave for free to the sub 2 community. So if you are in the sub 2 community, you get 5 trainings a week with my CFO, my COO, my partner, Cody, come in and talk about creating buying businesses with Creative Finance and then turning those businesses into profitable business if they weren't, and buying profitable businesses, kind of like the demolition business that we're currently buying, taking that profitable business and amplifying its profits through proper operations. So without further ado, let's bring on our guest, Julia. Julia, what's up? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Can you hear me?
I'm so good. I can hear you great. It seems like your internet's just fast enough that we can do this. And
okay,
you chose to come on here on your phone.
I know I did. I'm so sorry. I forgot my laptop, and I was a knucklehead. I'm sorry.
It'll work out. I did have to come in on my phone. Don't worry about it at all. You're perfectly fine. So Julia, tell me who you are. Tell me a little bit about you, and tell me a business it sounds like you bought with Zero Down. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, so my name is Julia Scholes. I live here in Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona. I moved out here about 7 months ago. And really within the last few months, I bought a med spa. So I'm one of the general partners out here. It's called Spotlight Skin and Lash. However, we are rebranding at the moment. So it's going to be Spotlight Salon and Med Spa. And this business, I didn't expect to buy this business at all. I had originally come out here to do more real estate stuff. I was up at the Golden Ticket event in Montana, met a bunch of awesome people out there, and I was like, I definitely got to move down to Arizona. So I did. And
you did not go to the Golden Ticket in Montana. You went to the community camp in Montana.
Oh, I did. It's the community camp in Montana. That's where I met Brenda Jones. Love her.
That is the hardest event to get into. We cannot call that the Golden Ticket, Julia.
I'm so sorry. You know what? It's because I went to the Golden Ticket event you had the year prior in Arizona in like December. Yeah. Okay.
That was
I'm getting stuff mixed up. That was really good too.
For those of you guys that don't know the difference between the Golden Ticket and community camp, they are two different things, but they are both free events that we do inside of our community. And the Golden Ticket is a reward-based event. So people that are helping other people get deals, people that are hyperactive, big go-givers, they get a special invite to come out to my office, spend a day together, collaborate, and it is an event that will absolutely change your life, but it's free. It's not necessarily free. You have to be a go-giver. You have to be somebody who's active in the community. And Julia was one of those people, obviously. She got invited to the Golden Ticket. That was back, let's see, you must have been either October or November 2022.
Yeah, November.
Okay, cool. That was actually the last Golden Ticket event we did up until just last month. So we put it on pause for over a year. But the event you're talking about is community camp, where it is literally the hardest thing to get your butt into. Was that not the most life-changing 3 days you've ever spent in Montana?
Oh, 100%. Absolutely. Oh my gosh. The people I met, like the opportunities that even like opened up for me. And thank goodness I went. I met Wes Grant. He is amazing. Opened so many doors for me there. He's given me so many tips and information just like in the short period of time I met him. I met Brenda Jones, absolute go-giver. Love her. She's one of the leaders down in OCJV. She's also in Sub 2, and she's absolutely amazing. I love her as well.
I love it. So you are hanging out with me in Montana. You're there with probably 300 other community members. Now, when we say community members, we're talking about Gators, we're talking Sub 2, we're talking Top Tier TC. We had Vina, Jamil, Brandon Turner from Bigger Pockets come out. We had Henry Washington, Spencer Cornelia, all sorts of amazing people. Leonard Lay says, Pace, are you going to have events like that for Gators? Leonard Lay, pay attention. Gators were at all Golden Ticket events, and Gators were at the community camp as well, my friend. Okay. Let's see. Pace, we can't see your logo by her head. She is on her phone. Yes, we are aware she is on her phone, and that's perfectly okay. So, Julia, start back over. I'm sorry, you were in Montana hanging out with us. What happened in Montana at community camp?
So I was talking to Wes Grant, and he was like telling me about how awesome Arizona was. And I was like, I've been wanting to move down there forever. He was like, just do it. Just go. And I was like, oh, shoot, maybe I should. And even after talking with Brenda, we were roommates down there. And I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm just going to pack my car and go. And like a month later, packed my car from California, moved down to Arizona. And so that's what
where were you at?
Started out. I was living in Clovis, California. It's just outside of Fresno.
Cool. And you're like, I'm out of here. Fresno is pretty cool, by the way. I do actually enjoy Fresno. You decided I'm coming down to Arizona. Now, Wes Grant, shout out to him. He is a big lender in our community. Started in Sub 2 about a year and a half ago. Has done about 110, 115 deals last time I spoke to him. And he was a retired police officer. He is now, once we launched the Zero Down community inside of Sub 2, it's just a shoot off of Sub 2. It doesn't cost anybody any money, but it is for Sub 2 students only. Wes Grant has, I'd say over the last 6 months, maybe a little bit longer, been focusing on buying businesses as his main strategy. Have you guys been collaborating on that and sharing ideas and getting on the phone with each other as well?
Yes. So I actually met up with him, I want to say maybe a month ago at like a small business meetup in, here in Arizona, in Phoenix. Like a local person like holds them, and I happened to see him there. I was like, Grant! And he gave me so many good tips there too. So I actually need to call him, talk to him some more.
So you come down to Arizona, you're hanging out down here. When did you move down to Arizona?
It was September 16th, 2023.
Okay, cool. Dang, this is like recent.
Yeah.
Why haven't I seen you at the meetups? I've been to a couple of meetups here. Why haven't I seen you?
I am working here in my med spa. Okay. I'm trying to hire out. All right. Things are busy.
I love it. Okay. So you moved down here in September. When does this opportunity become an opportunity, and how did you go and do it?
It was in, I want to say early November. So I had previously had a permanent makeup business, in Fresno, California, that did really well. But I was like, you know what? I kind of want to get out of it and get into real estate. And I did. I wholesaled for a long time. But when I moved out here, I was like, I don't really know anybody. I haven't done like a whole bunch of real estate in Arizona. What can I do in the meantime? And I'm like, you know what? I know how to do permanent makeup, and I know how to market myself. So I'm going to do that during the like evening time and do real estate during the day. Figure it out. And I just rented a studio space. We're actually in it right now. That is now turned into the med spa. And I was in like this almost 4,000 square foot building, and I was the only person in it doing permanent makeup. I was just tattooing on eyebrows on a woman. And I was like, what the heck? What is going on in here? And I was talking to the person who was subleasing the building to me, and at least the studio space I was using. And I was like, hey, what if like we turned this into something. Like I know you guys tried to previously, but it didn't work out with like their the manager they had in, and then like her daughter moved away because she was supposed to run it, and then things just kind of fell apart. And she's just paying rent on this place until she can get out of it. And I was like, hey, what if I actually took her out to breakfast, and I was like, here's this business plan I made. She was already a very successful entrepreneur in the med spa space. And I was like, I don't have a ton of experience, but this is the exact thing I want to do with it here. I won't take anything, but I just want to be one of the general partners, and I want a portion of the business. You don't have to pay me up front or anything. It's free for you. I will get people in the building, and I will make sure it's up and running by a certain date. And she was like, you know what? It's costing me money. It's costing me almost $5,000 a month just to have the space, just to even keep the lights on. And I was like, deal. And
wow,
I got into
so
it.
She's just not, what was her big problem? Was she just too busy with other endeavors? Like, why wasn't she just doing what you are now doing?
So she was super busy. She also owns another spa in the area. She owns a spa in, I think it's Hawaii, like Honolulu. She had like a huge spa down there, and she's like, I don't have time for this place. I don't have time to like send people over. I don't have time to like rent anything out. I just don't even want to deal with it. And so she didn't. She just chose not to, because her daughter was originally supposed to hire everybody out and do everything, but her daughter ended up moving away. And so it's just been empty ever since. And so she had a problem. I was like, hey, I can fix this for you. It won't cost you any money. I'll actually make you money. And that was like the big selling point for her.
What gave you all this confidence?
Vina Jetty. That's actually what gave me all this confidence. After Montana, I was like, you know what? I have to get into multifamily. Obviously, I haven't done too much in that space, but it was at Vina Jetty's event in Scottsdale, the multi-fi class, the master class portion. And it was so freaking good. We did hot seats, and thankfully I was there with Vina. I was like, Vina, what do I do? I'm really good at real estate. I'm really good at underwriting, but like a lot of people won't give me a huge opportunity because I'm young, and I am young. And she was like, you just need to have a lot more confidence. And she went on this long spiel, and she's like, would you question me with this? And I was like, absolutely not. And so ever since then, like, I was just like, I need to get on it, know exactly what I'm talking about, and just show up.
I love that. Okay. So you go and approach this lady. You say, hey, look, let me be a general partner. Let me bring some people in the door, because you understand marketing, and you're a badass at what you do. You know how to set up a spa. What did you start doing once you got, first and foremost, did you sign a contract with this lady? Did you figure out how to set up the agreement? How are you going to get paid? Tell me.
So it's a portion of the overall profits. I take 20%.
Okay. So you take 20% of the overall profits. However, how do you know what the profits are? Are you running the books?
I'm running the books. I'm running the books. So that's how that works. I know I'm getting paid because I can see it all. And that's how everybody else gets paid.
So what's your first step? You guys structure an agreement. You take over the books. You just start dominating everything. What were some of the first steps you started doing right out of the gate?
So we had to figure out clientele because they didn't have anything in here. And I know it's not super glamorous, but how I structured my business in Fresno was I got it was like bottle service girls, bartenders, and strippers. It's women who have to take care of themselves, and they have to look nice. And so that's exactly what I did here. I went out, I found everybody at the local clubs, all the bottle service girls, the strippers, and your bartenders, who are like the main head honchos at that place. And you give them stuff free. And you know what? They tell everybody else. You give them a coupon code, say, hey, I have a 20% off coupon code for you to go get your lashes done at this place. Just say you got it from me. And we continuously give them free stuff. And so those are like our ambassadors, and they're killing it. That is our number one way of getting people in the door. And then even Facebook, I don't run ads. I don't run any ads right now. But we get people from Facebook groups. We just post a lead magnet, and then everybody who comments on that, we send them a DM and a friend request, and we're able to get them in the door. If we can get them in the door with a free consult, we can book them.
You make it sound so simple. You know, there's other people.
It's
that
simple,
would
not easy.
Of course. Well,
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think when you love it and you like taking action like you do, it does become easy to a certain point once you have some momentum. But I think other people would just be stuck. They wouldn't have gotten creative, right? You got creative and you said, who is going to refer this out? Who is in charge of other women who are also getting this service done? It was pretty obvious when you said it out loud. But if you told me, right, hey, Pace, you know what I would have done? I would have been on Instagram making YouTube content. I would have been doing what I do. I would not have gone to what you did. That was so much more intelligent than what I would have ever come up with. You saying it out loud makes you go, oh, duh, right? It was really obvious. Yet, obviously, that lady wasn't doing any of the work. So what you brought to the table was essentially you brought sweat equity to the table and your genius brain of being creative. How do you get a hold of these girls? By the way, I'm asking for Kevin Cho just in case he's looking for a date. How can we get a hold of some of these girls?
So
you just go to like a strip joint, or are you going like? Are you?
So some of them, yeah. Sometimes you got to go in and be like, "Hey, my name is Julia," and so like even like some of those strippers, like you got to be like, "Hey, you know what? I'll help you get some of your clients back here. If you want to get your lashes done for free, like send clients to me." And they're like, "Oh my God, yes." And like, I'll help like rizz up like one of their clients to get them back to VIP. Done deal right there. And they'll work with us ever since. And then some of them I do DM a lot on like Instagram. And you know what? I get a lot of like ghosting. People are like, nah, I'm good. But like we reach out to probably 10 or 15 people a day just for being an ambassador.
Wow. It sounds so simple. Now let's talk about money. What kind of money can a business like a med spa? Now what you guys, it's not just a med spa, it's something else. You said med spa and something else. What is it?
And salon. So
Okay.
we have a hairdresser in here.
Love it. So you guys have multiple ways to make money. What kind of top line revenue could a business like this generate maybe after a year of you doing what you're currently doing?
So if you're continuously marketing, doing all the things you need to be doing, it'll probably make $450 a month. 450,000, I should say, per month.
Did you just say $450,000 a month?
Yes.
You're joking me.
I'm not joking. The beauty industry itself is like $1 trillion business. Like it's $1 trillion industry. It is.
You mean $45,000 a month or $450,000?
No, $450,000 a month.
You're blowing my mind right now. That's over.
Something
that's
you
like
might need to look into.
12, that's like 12. No, that's $15,000 a day. You guys can generate $15,000 a day after a year of running this business?
Yep.
Holy smokes. Are you joking me?
No, I'm really not. I wouldn't joke about numbers.
I'm like, why do I not own a med spa? What the freak are we doing right now?
Well, because think about it. It's not only products. You're also selling like retail behind me. One of these little bottles goes for almost $110.
Wow.
That right there is like, what? I could charge that for like one of our facials just on one product. So a lot of it is in product sales. We have it on our website. We upsell in our treatment rooms. You upsell everything.
Wow. So you're not obviously there at $450,000 a month yet.
Not quite, no.
In a year from now. So your margin's got to be crazy high on this too. So what kind of money do you think you'll take home on a monthly basis at 20% of the business?
At 20%, I mean, I would have to use a calculator.
If you generate, let's say, what will you guys generate this month in revenue? Obviously, you're not going to do 450. What will you guys generate this month in revenue? Top line.
Top line will do about 150.
Holy shit. Why am I not?
You can come in. And see.
I'm going to come and get a facial. Like 100%.
Do it. 100%.
I'm going to come and get a facial. Dude, you're blowing my mind right now. $150,000 in revenue right now. You just started this like 3 or 4 months ago. That's insanity. Why do I not own one of these?
I don't know. You tell me. You're the king of creative financing.
I had no idea these kind of what? The girls are spending this kind of money?
They'll spend $3,000 or $4,000 a month on this. That's just one person.
I'm blown away. I'm like truly blown away right now. So I'm like, how do I get one of these med spas? I almost need to be like, all right, Julia, let me go find one of these med spas and I'll let you run it. I'll give you 50%. Hell, I'll give you 60% of it. Like, what the freak? Are you kidding me?
I mean, if you want to find something, I will absolutely do that for you.
I will 100% find one. Oh my, Julia, I have to come over and do a YouTube video of me getting a facial from you buying a business zero down. Like,
deal.
It's so cool. What's funny? I just sent Vina a text while we've been on here, by the way. And I just gave her a little bit of love. Nobody knew who Vina Jetty was 2 years ago. I met her backstage and I said, the world should know you. You should come in, hang out with my community. Let's spend time together. We started spending a bunch of time together. A lot of people don't know this, but I launched Multify with her. I helped her push Multify. I've tried to keep my distance from it so that she can kind of do her own thing, her own way. But man alive, look at the compound effect of what our community has collectively done. And that you got Wes Grant that's helped you out. You got Community Camp, Golden Ticket, all these people you become friends with, right? Brenda, who you're roommates with. Like, think about how freaking cool this is. And now you own a business that's doing $150,000 a month in top line revenue. Your margin cannot be that it's got to be unbelievable. You got to be making $100,000 net. Like, if you got $50,000 in product, payroll, overhead, will you and your partner make $100,000 this month or less than that?
It'll be just over a little over 100,000 after we pay everybody in like retail costs and everything.
You will net over 20 grand yourself doing this.
Yes.
What in the hell?
Granted, I work 7 days a week.
I get
so it's
that.
like, it's not easy.
I work 7 days a week too.
I know you do. And you probably do way more hours than I do, but
I doubt it. I'm just telling you, this is impressive. I'm freaking impressed. And I'm impressed by the fact that you did essentially not consulting for equity, but you did sweat equity in this deal. It cost you no money to get into this. You went out and just were super creative in the way you were doing it. One thing I think you screwed up on, my friend. I think you underestimated how much you brought to the table here.
I think so too. That is probably my number one regret.
Yes.
With this business specifically.
I have a very important thing I want to express about this. I know this is your show and we're all freaking impressed by this. I'm blown away. Literally, Carly's hung out with me for 2 years. She's like, it's hard to make Pace speechless, but you have. You literally, I'm like, what? Okay. So Vlad says Pace makes $1 million a month. Bro, I don't have a business that has this kind of margin. Like, this margin is insane. This is like 60% net margin, maybe 65% net margin. This is amazing. So check this out. I buy a business last year in June, and we buy 50% of the business, and we left the founder in place to be the face of the business, run the Instagram, run the team. They're over in Florida. It's an amazing business. It does about $5-6 million a year in revenue. A big IRS bill popped up from this owner. Okay, just popped up. And the IRS is like, we want this money now. And so we go to the original guy who sold us 50% of the business. We said, hey, this is your debt, not ours. And he said, well, can I borrow money from you? It's like $200,000. And I go, okay, yeah, I guess we'll give you a loan. This is our business partner, mind you, right? This is like if your med spa lady, you started helping her build her med spa, and the IRS came to her and said, hey, you owe us taxes from 3 years ago. And your med spa lady that you partnered with comes to you and says, hey, Julia, I need you to pay off this IRS debt. Will you give me a loan? The IRS needs this paid like right now. And so this gentleman, who's our partner in this business, we said, all right, we'll give you a loan, but it's got to be a higher interest rate, like maybe 20% interest or something like that. And we'll pay off the IRS debt, whatever. He says, well, why don't you take equity instead of interest? Like, why don't you just buy another 15% of the business from me for that $200,000? It would make it financially, it makes sense. Like, I would make so much more money on owning that extra 15% of the business than I would on the 20% of the interest that I'm charging my partner. Does that make sense, Julia?
Yeah.
Which one did I choose? My partner, right, by the way, the other 50% is pushing me to take 15% off of his equity instead of giving him a loan. Which one did I choose?
I'm assuming you still chose the loan, just by the way you're making it sound.
I chose the loan, but why?
Because that business will probably make more money in the future.
No.
Why?
The reason being is because the way everybody is incentivized in the business is incredibly important.
Oh, shoot. That's exactly why we have we don't pay people hourly. We pay people commission. They're incentivized to bring people in.
There you go. And what's happening
you're blowing
right
my mind on that.
Is you are right now, Julia, realizing, as I am realizing, that you are bringing most of the people through the door. You are running the books. You are basically running the business, and you only took 20% of the business. Now, what will very quickly happen? Watch this. If I went to you right now, Julia, as nice as this lady is, and I went out and bought a building that was in a great location, local to Scottsdale, because that's kind of where your clientele is, Old Town Scottsdale. Damn, I might even go do this right now. And I go, hey, Julie, I own a building. I want you to become a 60% partner with me. I will take 40%. You take 60%. But you have to go drop the lady you're currently with right now. What would you say to me?
Ooh, I would probably take that deal in a heartbeat.
Okay. Now, I'm not saying you will do that, but I'm saying here's the reality is that you are currently realizing how much you bring to the table, and you're starting to count, oh my gosh, I made 20 grand this month. This lady's making 80, and I'm the one that was the difference maker. I was the X factor in all of this.
Right.
Incentivization is so important. This is why I kept my partner who has 50%. I have 50%. He says, give me the loan for 200,000 and I'll give you 15% of the business. I would make way more money taking the equity off of his side than I will by giving him a loan. But why did I keep the equity on his side? Because he's the face of the business. He shows up to the office every day. He manages the employees at the physical location over in Florida. If I take his equity in about 4 months, 5 months, he's going to go, why am I doing all this work for only 35% of equity?
Dang.
That is currently
I hate it
where
when you blow my mind.
Now.
No, you're right.
Where you are
you're
right.
Right. No, that is exactly where I'm at right now.
Okay. Now here's what I'm suggesting. Now I want to go buy a freaking med spa with you. Okay?
Hey, I have Jessica Roberts blowing up my phone right now, telling me to be a general partner. She's in sub 2. She's trying to DM me right now.
I know. I see Jessa in here. I'm telling you, you are the X factor in this business. And I think you've realized that just in the last maybe 60 days that you are bringing the clientele in. You are the face. You are the politeness. You are the service person. You're the person collecting the money, managing the books, paying the bills, doing all this stuff. You basically are 90% of this business. Now, it doesn't mean here's the argument for the other person that has 80%. This opportunity would not have happened without them.
True.
But I think the equilibrium is off balance. I think this needs to be more like a 50-50 or you 60, them 40, because the amount of work you're putting in and how you are becoming the face of this entire business.
Right.
Now, you're not going to change this. Here's my suggestion. My suggestion is you and I go buy a business. I'll go buy a building. Wherever you tell me to buy a building, I will buy a location. I will front the cost of all the materials, all the stuff, all the equipment, all the chairs, all the whatever. You go and send clientele to the thing. You and I split it. You take 60, I take 40.
I'll see it in writing first, Pace.
I will 100% put it in writing. Now, how the hell do I come over there and get a facial and see what this business looks like? Would your partner be okay with that?
Yeah, she absolutely would.
Gosh, damn it, Julia. Great job.
Well, thank you. That makes me feel good. I was nervous about this podcast.
Why?
I don't know. I'm young and dumb, and I should have taken more than 20%.
No. Let's shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? But here's the reality. Other people would not have even done that. Other people would not have taken the chance at all. Other people would not have had traction in their business at all. You have done all of those things. You should be so proud of yourself. We are all proud of you. Gosh, damn.
Well, thank you. I do appreciate that.
How do you take this business from 150 to 450? What do you do? Do you get more people working? Do you get a full-time marketing person? How do you get $500,000 a month coming through this thing?
You know, that's exactly what I've been thinking is like, how do I start doing that? And so I need to hire 3 more people, specifically 2 estheticians and ideally 1 more lash artist. And I'd be really happy with that. And if I can, this is really what I'm hoping for. I need a nurse full-time doing injectables because that's where like really most of our income comes from.
That's Botox.
Botox, fillers, all that stuff. So Botox is a name brand. It's just Tox for the most part. But it's fillers specifically. So like lip filler, like up here filler, like all sorts of stuff. That's where most of the profit margins are like the best.
Okay, dope. I love this. Do you have to be licensed to do that?
Yeah, so you either need to be an RN, a doctor, and so we have like a medical director right now who's a doctor, and she sometimes comes in, but she's not here full time. She has her own injectable business elsewhere. And so that's why we need to hire one. And so we can still have her on payroll as like our medical director. That's ideally what we would like to do, but bring in like an RN to do injectables full time.
Wow. I love this. Now, somebody says, Lo says, so F the partner. No. Lo.
I love her.
Low.
I won't do that.
Low. Don't stoop so low. Low. Okay. Why am I teaching the way I'm teaching and talking the way I'm talking, Lo? Is because there's a lot of people on the side today, 400 people hanging out with us late at night on a Monday night. Thank you guys for showing up. That are sitting here going, how do I structure an organization? How do I structure ownership in a business that I'm going to buy? Look at my side. I'm more experienced than Julia. I'm basically double her age. And so I was willing to go, no, I don't want your equity because I know how I need to keep you incentivized, partner. I know how percentages will mess with your brain. Julia, who is young, would not have had this opportunity without this partner. And she knows that. And she's grateful for this partner. She's going to keep this partnership intact. When I give you an example or a hypothetical, Lo, it is to teach you, not to actually tell Julia to run away from the company. That is not what's happening here. It's a teaching moment. And sometimes you got to tell a story to teach a thing. Okay. So do not stoop so low. Let's see here. Who do you need to hire to get some of your time back to open a few locations? Dustin Seiler, my guy out of Utah, he's asking the right question. By the way, I don't know if you met Dustin Seiler at community camp last year. Did you?
I don't think I did. At least I don't remember, but I don't think we met. But I will be at Squat Up Summit, so hopefully I'll see some people there. But I ideally right now need to hire a front desk person. Finding that person is probably the most important in this building just because they're the first person you see coming in the door. If they have a bad attitude, they don't answer the phone right, they're going to turn customers away. And so I'm up here doing it most of the time. I know our spa director, Madison, she's up here every time I'm not. And so that is by far the hardest part is finding a front desk person who will kill it.
Dang. I gotta, my sister Annika would crush that. My word. I'm starting a med spa. I know nothing about it, but if your margins are that good, holy moly, why do I not own a freaking med spa? This is insanity. You're going to be richer than me in like 6 months.
Oh, I hope so. Try.
Are you enjoying Arizona?
I think it's a little warm. The winter here has been lovely. It's what I've lived through, but when I visited I think it was July when I visited, it was awful. The heat was gross. Hated it. Gross so I might have to leave for a little bit.
Come up to freaking Montana. Let's open up a med spa in Montana.
I need to research Montana a little bit before I agree to that.
I mean, you hung out there last summer with me. Come up.
It was gorgeous. It was gorgeous.
I'll be up there 5 months this year. It'll be a great time.
Let me figure out a location.
I'd rather,
I'll come
you know what
back
I'd
to you
rather
on
do?
that.
I'd rather buy, I'm going to buy, here's the thing. You're either going to partner
Okay.
with me on a second location, or I'm going to compete with you head to head.
You're not going to outcompete me. I'm sorry. Not in this space. In real estate, maybe, but not in the med spa space.
I don't have a chance with you. I don't have a chance against you for sure. This is miraculous, amazing. I'm so proud of you. This is freaking cool. Next steps, because I think we got to follow up with you in 6 months on this exact topic. Have you come back? What are the next steps for you? You're going to hire a front desk. You're going to hire some extra people. What about operationally on the back end, like different suppliers, different services? What about marketing? What kind of marketing are you going to amplify? Give me some tips for the med spa owners that are going to go out in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and start doing med spa stuff right after this podcast.
So the next steps for us, at least marketing wise, is actually getting ads up and running. Next week, we're actually having like a videographer come in here. It's going to be like a full production to make some like really professional looking ads for us. And it's video ads. We're not doing like Instagram boosted posts or anything like that because they don't work. But specific ads is really going to be our next step, because we already have pretty decent brand recognition just through organic marketing. And so if I can take a little bit of that off my plate, that would be next steps.
I love it. Can we do a YouTube video at your med spa?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Julia, I'm so proud of you. So impressed by you. I know you're in the Sub2 community. How can people reach out to you? What's your Instagram?
I'm rarely on Instagram, but you can find me at probably Opulent Ink Studio. It's the one I run for the med spa, but at least that's what I do here. Or you can reach out to Spotlight Salon and Med Spa on Instagram.
Spotlight Salon and Med Spa on Instagram. Spotlight, Spa, and Salon on Instagram. Julia, proud of you. Super proud
Thanks,
of you. Now,
man.
something that's going to be coming up this week, everybody that's in Sub2, my partner Cody, my CFO Ben, my marketing director, my COO, my sales director are going to start doing our zero down Zooms again for all of our business buying starting this week. So if you guys are in Sub2 and you want to learn more about business buying, how to operate, how to get the marketing up, how to get the sales up, etc., my team that runs all of my businesses is going to be coming in and doing Zooms on a weekly basis. So stay tuned for that. That is actually happening this week. Cody Barton, my partner, is going to be doing a Zoom this Friday, only inside of Sub2. That is all about a business we bought in June and all the learning lessons, the bumps on the face, the kicks in the ribs, all the bad things that happen, on top of all the millions of good things that happen. Julia, we're all so proud of you. We're so impressed by you. And thank you for being on Get Creative tonight. I appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I really do appreciate it.
You killed it. So proud of you. Guys, unbelievable. Julia, you freaking killed it. Man, guys, go DM her. Tell her how proud of her you are, and go into the Sub2 Facebook group and let her know. Connect with her. Right? We want all of our fellow community members doing deals with each other. It's so cool having Vina, who's a community member, Wes Grant's a community member, Brenda's a community member, everybody collaborating and doing deals with each other. So proud of you, Julia. Gosh dang it. Guys, we will see you multiple times this week in our Sub2 Zooms throughout the week. One of the most important Zooms I want you guys to make sure you do not miss is Friday morning. We will be doing, I think it's, let me just double check. We are doing a multifamily training this week, showing people how to find creative finance multifamily deals. And that is happening on, Friday, 10 a.m. Arizona time. Sub2 Fund, my team that does all of my multifamily, is going to come and teach all that stuff. We will see you guys on Friday, 10 a.m. So proud of you, Julia. Thank you so much.